Welcome to our Yin Yoga class. My name is Tammy. Thank you for joining me. Our practice is going to be working through the whole body for a deep relaxation, releasing tissues that barely are used. So it'll be really nice when we hold the poses for longer periods of time to be able to stretch and lengthen all through the tissues, through the body, while helping us to breathe, open up, and to be in discomfort for some of the poses. It's definitely interesting when we start to let our body release, to notice that. And then being also with your thoughts for longer periods of time. So coming into our first pose, I have my rectangular bolster here. You can set up pillows for yourself. So you can have two firm pillows and place them just like that. So it'd be the same idea. We'll lie on our back. So even if you don't have pillows, you can lie on the floor. I'll tuck my hips right back. So my lower back, a nice pink shirt on so you can see, right into my rectangular bolster right there. And then I'll lie over top. My head rests, so resting on your pillows. And then just see where you can feel that comfort into your spine. Adjust where you see fit. Your knees may remain bent or stretching out your legs straight. You can also take your legs into butterfly and having your pillows under your knees for support. So if you have your pillows handy, you just slide them one to one side, one to the other side. So where would you like to be? Our first pose, so you have time to get yourself settled in the pose. So don't worry. So we'll be here for a few minutes. And when you find stillness, turn inwards. You can turn your palms up towards the sky. And breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. This lovely pose at the beginning of our class helps us to notice the opening into our chest and into our belly with our breath, feeling the rise and the fall. Opening through our heart, opening into chest, shoulders. Our spine is supported. We are here for 45 more seconds. We breathe. Let yourself melt a little bit more. Soften. Coming out of our supine position. If your knees are turned towards the sides, just bringing them back up towards the sky. If your legs are stretched out, bending through the knees. And turn your palms in. And then rolling over to the side and making your way back up. Our next pose will be lying on the side of our body. Keeping with your pillows here or your rectangular bolster or bolster. We tuck our left leg in and the right leg comes behind. A little version of, kind of a version of cattail, else it would be, your right leg would be in front. But this one, we're coming to the side of the body and then with your upper body coming down and then turning, letting your left cheek rest onto your pillow. You can lie on the ground here too. A little bit more of a deeper stretch would be turning your head and looking the opposite way. If you added more of the twist, it could be a little bit uncomfortable. So breathing through the discomfort. You could progress to that bigger twist also. And now slowly making your way out of the twist and making way back up. Moving into our other side. Turn towards the back and turn our body. So this time, right leg, right hip will be tucked in towards your pillows, or without a pillow too, of course you can do it. So right leg tucked in, right hip tucked in, and then left leg behind. You can place your right foot on top of the left, and upper body coming over. You can let the right cheek rest, or adding that extra twist and letting the left cheek rest. Adjusting where you see fit. Using pillows for support. You could do this pose with a cushion from a couch or chair. Usually they are firmer. Continuing to breathe into discomfort. This deep stretch, this big twist into our spine. We are touching on all aspects of our spine here. Moving from the lumbar to the thoracic to the cervical. We feel the opening into the front of the left thigh, into the hip. We let our exhale breath guide us to soften. How are your thoughts? Continue to turn inward, being present on what is happening right now with your physical body. Feelings from the inside. Coming out of the twist, we turn. We slowly make our way up. Turn towards the back. Our next pose will be dragon. Another deep stretch. So with dragon, you don't need any props. Come to all fours. Step forward with the right hand, left hand into downward facing dog. With three-legged dog, we lift the right leg towards the sky and then bend the knee and step onto the outside of the right wrist. Now, you could use a knee block if you like. If your knee comes down, you can also double up your mat. So I like to do that too, just a little bit more cushion at times. And then I'm able to drop my hip in towards the ground. Just setting yourself up here. My hands are down towards the ground. You may hold right here for dragon. You can lower into dragon. You can also come in to twisted dragon. And turning out. So I'm going to come down to my forearms. You may join me there. This way it's a little bit, I get a little bit deeper. Opening in through my hip, front of my thigh, and I'm taking pressure off my wrist. You can also make fists with your hands. Take pressure off of your hands if you're up. We let the head hang and breathe. Are you able to let your shoulders release a little bit more with the exhale breath? Maybe you can sink a little bit deeper into this pose also. We make our way out of dragon, coming up. You may take a break from downward facing dog and come into all fours and child's pose, finding what you would like to do. Or you can come with me back into downward facing dog. And then three-legged dog, left leg lifts, and then step onto the outside of the left wrist. So remember, join me when you are ready. Take the right knee down too, for that's your choice that you're made up. You can double up the mat. That would be triple for me. That would be nice too. And here I'm gonna let my right hip drop down. So you can hold here, and here's the stacking of your fists that you can, or making fists, I should say. You can hold here and let the head hang. Or coming down towards farm slips. I should have showed you twisted dragon too, and then just turning and we twist. You're pushing your left knee out. So you could try that for a little change. Or come down to the forearms. This nice big opening into the pelvis. Inhale, opening. Exhale, it is still a push, release. Inhale into those uncomfortable places. The exhale breath helping you to release. Letting our head hang a little bit more. Letting our shoulders soften a little bit more. We now make our way out of dragon. We can come back to all fours or downward facing dog. Then to all fours. And now into child's pose. We turn our knees out towards the side. This is a really nice grounding pose, opening into our pelvis, opening into our spine. And curl the toes, sit your heels back. Sit your bottom back into the heels. And arms may come forward. Our forehead comes down to the ground. You place your forehead onto your hands. Find what you would like to do. If this pose does not work for your knees, you can always come onto the side of the body, tuck your knees in, or lie on your back, tuck your knees in. Sitting on a chair is always good to do. Sitting at the end of the chair, and then open your knees out to the sides and then fold forward. Coming out of child's pose, Balasana, we come up, all fours, and rolling, coming over to the side of the body, and a side sit right here. For the next few poses, noticing if you find any changes in how your body is feeling. So we've been practicing these poses for a little bit while. Maybe you're able to come a little bit deeper into the pose, or so your body is starting to release, or you may be able to really start to turn inward and let your thoughts pass by one. Okay, so our next pose, it's legs up the wall. You can lie on your back and actually just have your legs up in the air, or use a wall. So would be lying on the back and with legs up the wall. Now, if it doesn't work for you for lying on your back, you could be sitting up. And if I have my hips higher than my knees, I'm going to take pressure off of my lower back. And I can be like this, and I could fold forward. I could place pillows on top and let my upper body rest. I'm actually going to use the wall. So you can do that too with me. So I'll just turn my body. I'll tuck my hips right into the wall, come onto the side of my body, and make my way up. With my legs up, resting. I'll turn my palms up towards the sky now. My arms are quite a ways away from the body. Close your eyes. This pose is wonderful for having a good night's sleep. Bringing the blood back to your heart in an easier way. From the bottom of from your lower body. So helping with circulation. Rejuvenating, restoring. Feel your body soften. This is a lovely pose to drift off with. As you can tell, it's a wonderful way to let your body to relax. Moving into the evening, maybe just restorative through the day. To have this break for yourself. Coming out of legs up the wall. If your legs are up the wall, you can bend through the knees and then roll over to your right side. So my right arm's going to come overhead. I roll over to my right side. Take a moment. And then make my way back up. And I can come back into seated and then make my way into the next pose, which will be square pose. For square pose, my right leg will come up over top of my left leg with both knees bent. I'll place a pillow underneath of my right knee. You can see with my black pants and the gray pillow, so where my knee is resting here. I can place my hands underneath of my right ankle too here for a little bit support, so it's not going to sickle, so twist. So I can do that. Or if you find that it's straight, I can place just my left hand too, my right hand. Okay, so a version of this would be left leg extended, and I'll cross my right foot over top of the left knee, place my pillow underneath, and I hold here. I can add a fold forward. I can also do this if it doesn't work for your body right now. I can tuck my foot into the inner thigh and add a fold forward. So it's still working into our hips and then also into the hamstrings with that fold forward here too. So a couple benefits. Whichever way you would like to do this, and then make your way into stillness. Now, square pose is wonderful for releasing anxiety, relieving anxiety. We let our lower body settle into the ground, releasing our shoulders away from the ears, we let go. Remember to add that forward fold if you like, though. So we hold a lot of emotions in our pelvis. So this is a reason why this is a really good pose to help release anxiety, relieve anxiety. Make our way out of square pose. Nice and slow. And into the other side. So first, taking our legs forward. Take our hands behind and feet wider than the hips. You can do a little windshield wiper through the knees. It's a nice massage for our pelvis here, hips. And into the other side. Okay, so here's one way to do it. You can cross your ankle over top the right knee. You can have your foot into the inner thigh. You could have a fold forward. Remember to use a pillow under the knee too. So the other way that we could do this would be taking your right foot under and then left foot on top for square pose, and your pillows coming underneath of the left knee. Breathe now. And to fold forward. Now slowly making a way out. Square pose, so coming up slow pose. And crossing. Placing the props down. Over to the side. We can windshield wiper the knees side to side again, so feet wider than the hips. And windshield wiper. Banana asana will be your next pose. And then we have supported bridge. So coming down for a banana asana, and this is good for our circulation too. We roll over to our back. If you would like to remain upright, you can sit and just lean over to one side, bringing your arm up and over to one side so you get that side stretch. You're lying down on your back, walking your legs over to the left corner, and then walking your upper feet over to the left corner. If your right hip is really lifting up, then just come out of the pose, this banana shape a little bit. Arms may come overhead. If you have a little blanket or something that you want your elbows to rest on too, you do that. You do not have to hold on to your hands. Your elbows could just be, arms could be wider. That'll be a little bit easier on your shoulders if they are above. Or you could hold onto the elbows, crossing your right ankle over the left ankle. Then we breathe all into the side of the body. You'll notice that bigger stretch into the right side of the body, but we're still lengthening through the left side of the body so we're not squishing into the waist. Are you able to let yourself go here? Turn banana asana for another minute. Noticing areas of tension and see if you can use your breath to help you to release a little bit more. Coming out of banana asana, Crossing the ankles, releasing your arms or in your upper body, coming back to the center, lower body, coming back to the center. And then into the other side, we walk our legs over to the other side. Other corner, upper body coming over to the other corner. You may take the arms overhead. Again, you may just have your arms open, wide, or you can hold on to the hands or opposite elbows. Crossing your left ankle over the right ankle. We let go. We release. Continuing to be long through both sides of the waist. Remember, you could be upright and you could have your arm up overhead, so stretching out one side. You could be lying on the side of the body doing this too. With your knees bent and then one arm coming overhead, that would work. Maybe you've been practicing inhaling and exhaling for longer periods of time. So your inhale breath could be inhaling for 8 seconds and then exhaling for 10 seconds. Coming out of Namaste, we can cross the ankles. We release our arms. We take our upper body back to the center, the lower body back to the center. Bending through the knees. Our next pose is shoulder supported bridge. So if you have a block or a pillow handy, I'll place it on the middle height here, so not the tallest, but the middle height, and place it under my sacrum. When you come into supported bridge, please don't look around anywhere so you don't want to hurt your neck. So if you need to see what I'm doing at first, you can watch and then come into the pose. I'm just gonna, with my pink shirt, so you can see. Okay, so I place the block underneath of my sacrum. Just find where it's good for you there. And place my hands, palms down towards the side, or you can turn your palms up. And then I hold. I let my hips be supported. Now come out of shoulder bridge. So support, we remove the left sacrum. Draw the pelvis down towards the ground. You can take your right knee, left knee in towards the chest and give yourself a little squeeze. And making your way into Shavasana, doing whatever other movement that you would like to do for yourself. If you have a blanket, you can place it over top the body. You can lie on your back with knees bent or legs straight. You can come into an incline, or you can be seated. If you do come into an incline too, instead of using, usually I'll use my bolster, but you could use a stool and put it against the wall. And so then you can lie back on it. So if you have the poofs that they have, or a stool that you would have for your couch, and then just lie back on it like this. And that's a nice opening, and then that would be a nice incline. You can also do legs up the wall too, like we did earlier. Finding stillness. Catch your breath. Your eye sockets heavy, lips part from the top of your head all the way to the bottom. You release. We'll call you back when it is time. Slowly coming out of Shavasana. Wiggling your toes and wiggling your fingers. Yeah, inhale and an exhale. You may have heard me. A sigh. A shift through the body. If you're lying on your back, bend the knees. Take the right arm overhead and roll over to your right side to fetal. And then coming up to a comfortable seated position, you can have your hips higher than the knees. An easy pose or sitting on your heels. You can place your hands to your heart center. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Strengthening, lengthening, whole body. Feeling release in not only our physical body, but in our mind. Namaste.